Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the REDX podcast, one of the best places out there for real estate professionals to learn from the experts. We've got quite the expert here with us today. His name is Chastin Miles. Chastin, how you doing today, my man?
I am doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. We're excited to have you here today. We're going to be talking about some amazing stuff here. We're going to be talking about client events. We're going to be talking about gifts. We're going to be talking about what agents should focus on to optimize and prioritize for 2022, right? So, and we might even dip into some content on creating videos and providing value to your clients and contacts that way. So, ton of amazing information coming your way. Real quick for the audience, if you're joining us live, please chat into the comments. Let us know where you're from. Say hi to Chastin, and if you have any questions, comments, here we go. Any questions, comments, or anything you want to ask Chastin here today, please put it in the comments. We'll throw it up on screen. We'll ask him, and we'll get you guys involved and make this an interactive show today. So before we get going, I just want to remind the audience that we do this podcast every week, every Thursday at 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern. And Chastin here is a return guest, and we're super excited to have him back. Last time he was on, we talked about, what did we talk about? Building a sustainable business, building a real estate team, and kind of developing an org chart. So I'm going to post the link to that last podcast we did in the comments. Please go check it out. A ton of valuable information in there that's going to help you out in addition to what we're talking about today. So, Chastin, let's get going. Just right off the bat, I want to ask you, I mean, it's November, right? We're approaching December. The holidays are coming. The year is going to end soon. Off the top of your head, to kind of round things up here, what should agents be doing right now to prepare for the new year, to prepare for a successful 2022?
Andrew, awesome question. And, this is a big business planning time for me. I mean, I start my business planning in October. And so October, November, we're just kind of tightening up the plan. And December, it's go time. When you're thinking about the new year and what to do next year, you really have to start a lot earlier than that January 1st timeline, because we got to work out budgets. We got to get marketing going. We got to get that actual plan together. And so I always say, like, start November, December, implementing things, especially here in real estate, where what you do today, you can expect to see the results 3 months from now. So, if I'm going out, pushing out the marketing, pushing out things now, then that's setting me up for those transactions in January, February, March. Right. Whereas most real estate agents who want to take these last 2 months on vacation, they're playing catch up, and then they don't start really doing deals until the spring. But that's not what we want for REDX listeners or anybody in my circles. So one thing that's super important that we plan for is client gifts. So one part of my business is monthly gifting. And how this came about is, I think at this point I was in real estate maybe around 2 years or so, had closed about 60 deals. And before I got into the business, I remember reading blogs everywhere, and everything was talking about how they have this referral business, like their business is based off of referrals and referrals. And it hit me one day as I was changing over to a new database. I was looking over every single client and everything, and I said, dang, nobody has sent me a referral. When is my business going to turn into that referral business? And I realized it was because I was doing a bad job of keeping up with people. I was doing a bad job of staying in contact with people. And if you think about this real estate business, we work with the client a month, maybe sometimes 2 months, where we're seeing them quite often. We're talking to them multiple times a week, all that kind of stuff. And then when you close on that property, what happens? You just disappear. It's kind of like being ghosted, like a breakup, and you just had no explanation. So what I found was important to do, and what I still do to today, is I make sure that I keep up with clients monthly. And one of those ways is monthly gifting.
Okay.
I know when I say gifting, a lot of people think like, oh my gosh, it's going to be expensive and all that kind of stuff. But no, we actually send cute little cheesy gifts every single month. And we plan these out at the end of the year, what we're going to send for the whole year. Couple of examples, like in August, we send out barbecue seasoning, right? And we attach a little message to it, says your seasoned professionals for all of your real estate needs. In March, we send out those St. Patrick's Day little gold candies and stuff like that, and it says lucky to do business with you. So just little bitty things to stay top of mind. And for 2022, where are we going? 2022, yeah, it's going to be even more, even more important to stay top of mind, because as you all know, this real estate space is getting crowded. Everybody's hopping on social medias, everybody trying to run an ad, everybody's trying to get your client, everyone's trying to steal your business, and you worked hard for that client. So little things like this allow us to stay top of mind. So that's a big thing you definitely want to plan out. And also what events you're going to do next year. It's been a while since you seen everybody, and I'll talk more about that. But those are those things that you want to be planning at the end of the year to put on the calendar for next year. So you're not scrambling trying to place things and place gifts and place events in a schedule that's already crowded.
Right. That's amazing. I want to unpack this a little bit more here. So you're talking about end of year. Let's get ready. Let's plan these gifts. Are you planning a year's worth of gifts and things for your clients at the end of the year, or what does your scheduling for that look like?
Absolutely, planning a year's worth at the end of the year, and it's just 12 gifts, because we just send one a month. It's just 12 gifts. So for every month, you're deciding what gift you want. And I'll tell y'all, I just hop on Amazon, see what I can buy in bulk. And I think of a nice cheesy but cute line to put with it. And yeah, just on clockwork, we know at the end of every month, the week before the end of the month, we're preparing those gifts, and then we're mailing them out. So this takes the guesswork out of everything. It's already planned, pre-planned. You can even order all the gifts ahead of time, whatever you have to do to hold yourself accountable to get it done. But yes.
Okay, wonderful. And a big part of this is follow-up, right? Like you're sending these gifts out as a follow-up treat to stay in touch, to stay top of mind. What else falls into your client follow-up routine? Do you, after you send the gifts, do you follow up and say, hey, did you get it? How you doing? How many other touches, emails, texts, phone calls do you follow up with your past clients?
Sure. So everyone gets a phone call every other month. They receive our evidence of success marketing. And what that looks like is we're transitioning them from sending them marketing on homes that they could potentially want to purchase to how we're doing in the market. So we're showing them testimonials still. They're receiving these postcards, they're receiving video testimonials, just so that they know that, hey, we're still in business, we're still out here working. Clients just like you still love us. Who else do you know? So they are receiving that once a month. They're also being invited to 2 events a year. So client appreciation events, 2 of those a year. And then if just like any type of real estate marketing, if anything kind of, I don't want to say catastrophic, but anything major going on with real estate, interest rates shot up or shot down, or whatever, we're sending out communication regarding that, because we just want to keep people informed on the market. Now, some of our value added services, and I know this is going to sound like, oh, y'all do so much, but one of the commitments that we make to our clients, like even at that first meeting, is our value added services. They consist of receiving a yearly valuation of their home. So we kind of do it like that, free annual credit report type of deal. So they receive a free yearly evaluation of their home. they also receive our preferred vendor list anytime it
Mm.
updates. So we tend to update it once a quarter. They get a new copy of it. And then we also give people access to our office. So we literally tell our clients, hey, we have state-of-the-art office with all of your copy, internet, scanning, postage machines, whatever you need. You know, you're our family member now. So feel free to
Mm.
stop in if you just want to work, if you want to get out of the house, second office, whatever the case is. Like, heck, it's all here for the using. So things like that keep us, in the loop, in the circle with them as well.
I love that. I love that. And all these things you're describing, I mean, you even said it may sound like a lot, but when I'm thinking about it, it may sound like a lot. It may even sound expensive to some people. But it doesn't, as long as you plan ahead, it doesn't sound like too much. And I think to your point, now is the perfect time to plan ahead, because a lot of agents, I think, kind of get into this mode of, well, it's the end of the year, things are slowing down. I'll just take the holidays off and I won't worry about it until the new year. To your point, they're not going to be ready for the new year if they're not preparing now. So even if there are fewer deals or fewer people available who want to buy or sell, use that time to double down on the planning, fine tune your execution, and make sure you're ready to go, so that even if you're not closing deals in November, December, hopefully you are, but even if you're not, you're using that time valuably, and you're getting ready for the next year. So this is fantastic, Chastin. I want to jump in, and our friend Haley here asked, what do you do for these events? Some event ideas. When do you hold them? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So we have 2 client appreciation events, one in the spring and then one in the winter.
Okay.
And that's simply a get together. So we'll rent out a section of a restaurant, a bar, whatever,
Right.
just to get people there. And we always encourage people to bring a friend with them. We have a few partners there, so we'll have a lender, an insurance agent, like people who they've worked with through the year. It's kind of like that face to face. You get to meet these people who are kind of behind the scenes that you don't really ever see. So they're there helping sponsor the event. We also play a referral game where we have 3 gift cards. And what we do is we give everybody slips of paper with lines already pre-printed on there. And we say, okay, for the next 2 minutes, whoever can write down the most names and phone numbers of people who would possibly buy, sell, or lease a property within the next 12 months, whoever writes down the most numbers, you get one of these gift cards. And so we give away 3 of those prizes. And the cool thing about that is you get to keep all of those lists. And so even if someone is not a winner, because they may just have 3 or 4 names, that's 3 or 4 that you get to add to everyone else's. As a matter of fact, one of my coaching students just did this last week, and he pulled 115 names from his 2-hour client appreciation event doing this. So now they're calling everybody, and it's kind of a warm lead. And so that's always fun. People love that. People have a good time. Another event that we do first-time homebuyer seminars, of course. Mm-hmm. And then we also do first-time homebuyer orientations. So the seminar is, of course, to educate them on the home buying process, credit, all that kind of stuff. And then the orientation, which is once a quarter, so 4 of those a year, we host that for all of the people who have purchased a home in the previous 3 months, previous 90 days. And what we do at that is we have people like foundation people, lawn care, contractors, designers, just to let them know how to maintain their home and things that they can do to the home and all of that good stuff. So those are the different events that we do.
That's amazing. And I really, really love this referral gift card game, right? Because I think every agent is out there always asking people for referrals, but a lot of agents worry about coming across with commission breath or bugging their friends and family, bugging their sphere of influence for referrals. And I don't think it's unexpected, but I think this is a fun, unique way to get that interaction, right? Throw the event, make it a game, make there be a reward, and I assume that those are going to be pretty valuable names and numbers, right? It's going to make people think hard about who actually wants to buy or sell in the next 12 months. What a great way to get some business, and then these seminars, an amazing way to provide value to everyone, no matter what, right? Whether you're a first-time home buyer, I'm sure some of the referrals that you get come to these. I think that's incredible. So, anything else in line with these gift giving, the client events that you want to share with our audience today before we move on?
Sure. One other thing that you want to do at the end of the year, and this goes out to all of your past clients, like all of them from this year, last year, previous year, whatever year.
Okay.
You want to send them a message. So either an email, or you could do a letter in the mail, and find out what their goals are for the next year. Okay. So I like to give them a couple of options, basically saying, hey, circle A if you plan on making another move within the next 12 months. Circle B if you're looking for so circle B if you're not planning on making the move, but you're looking for investment opportunities or investment properties, whether it be land or an investment home. Circle C if no, you don't want anything, you're not planning to move, but you may have a friend or family member who could potentially be doing something within the next 12 months. And then circle D if you are open to any money-making activities that we could know of. So we send it out, tend to get a great response on it. And these are just more people that you can reach out to. And, there's always a need that you can fulfill. There's always a problem you can solve. There's opportunities for you to present something to people that they probably didn't know that they needed. And now that you've lit that light bulb, they're like, hey, I want to explore that. I didn't think that I could get an investment property, but you said that there's a way that I can do it and not have to take out a second mortgage on my house. So it's about seeing what they're open to. And then once you've opened that door, taking them down that lane.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm noticing a theme here, and the theme is interactive touches that provide value and kind of motivate them to think about their needs, right? It's not just about, here's what I can do for you. Here's what I can do for you. What are you trying to do? It's finding ways to interact, to start a conversation, to get them actually thinking about their own life, their own motivations, their own goals. Because I think everyone gets so many pieces of mail and email and everything from real estates all the time that don't really engage them, right? I've heard the difference between passive prospecting and passive real estate agents and active real estate agents. And I think this is an amazing way. All these things are an amazing active methods of keeping in touch and following up with your clients.
Yeah. And if I could say one more thing, that's why it's ever so important to do this stuff now, like November, December, because we know how our lives are, and not just being busy, but we get out there, we start doing open houses, we start our cold calling activities and our prospecting and all that stuff. Like that's our normal day to day. Okay. These are things that you can do right now to set up at least an additional 5 to 10, 20 deals in your pipeline before you've even started any of those other things. Right. We sold over 100 homes last year, and it was because doing things like this at this time of year gets you set up that way. You don't have to go as hard with all the other things, because you're able to pull business from your past clients. You're able to pull business from your videos or social media marketing. You're able to pull business from random places, open houses, all that kind of stuff. And when you set your buckets up like that, now you're operating on a high level, doing 100, 200 deals, because you're not just relying on one source.
I love that. It's And I think that really, I was about to ask you, what would be your advice to newer agents who maybe don't quite have as many past clients or referrals, but the answer to that is make sure you have several buckets, right? One of those buckets is obviously prospecting. Another one of them is working your sphere. Another one of them is maybe working with past clients within your brokerage and within your teammates, right? I think there's never a shortage of opportunities to find people to reach out to provide value. And you mentioned your video content there. That's the last thing I kind of want to touch on before we wrap up today. I've seen your YouTube channel. I'm sure that many of the people watching and listening have seen your YouTube channel. Will you talk to us about making videos and video marketing and how that plays into your business?
Sure. I mean, video is 150% the way to do things nowadays.
Yes.
I mean, that's how we consume content now.
Mm.
And long gone are the days where you can say, oh, video doesn't do anything, or I can't do video, or I'm gonna leave that to the young guys because everybody's doing it. I mean, and everybody's watching it. And so it's an absolute necessity for any salesperson these days.
Mm.
And I'll tell you, the lane is still wide open. The lane is still wide open because there's tons of real estate agents out there who are not shooting videos. They're not, they're shying away from it. And so what it's doing is it's really placing agents like myself who aren't afraid to get in front of the camera now on a platform.
Mm.
When you get on Google, Facebook, Instagram, all these other places, what are they promoting? Videos. You type in a search item, videos pop up. So let this be another channel to market for your business. And with tons of people moving around these days, I mean, more people are able to work remotely or work from home. People
Mm.
aren't tied down like they used to be. And
Right.
so if you can become that authority in your area, you have a huge probability of gaining business from just videos. And here's the cool thing about videos. You put it out there, it can stay out there. One video can generate you business from years to come. And that's very beautiful. I mean, when you think about just the compound effect, say, hey, if I release a video a week, after a year, I have 52 videos that are gonna be out there that people are gonna continue to watch. And thinking of videos, people watch videos at all random times,
Right.
2 a.m, 3 a.m, midnight. You're not cold calling during those times, right? But they're still getting that value. They're still being able that or having that opportunity to get to know you, what you're about, what you have to offer. And it's kind of running on autopilot, and then you get that phone call of someone who saw your video and has more questions or wants to discuss it further. And so everyone should be doing video today.
I love that. I love that. It's a great way to keep your face out there, get your voice out there, and let it run in the background. Because, like you said, if you make one video a week and a quarter of those generate, a listing every month, you're still. I mean, it's endless eyes, endless, opportunities to reach out to people. What would be your advice for newer agents who are trying to get into video, who are maybe a little bit more shy or uncertain about it? Do you have any advice for them on how they can really kind of crack the code and get jumping in on that?
Sure. Here's the cool thing. Don't make it about you. Don't
Mm.
make it about you. You can do area videos. You can do tours. You can just show people the different types of real estate out there. You can show them the attractions in your area, the different parts of town. It doesn't have to be about you. That's what people are searching for when they're considering calling a real estate agent off of YouTube. Hey, you
Right.
showed this amazing property or you showed this area and I'm considering moving to this area. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? It's not about me. It doesn't have to be about you. You can hold the camera in front of you, but give people that information that they don't get. Something that I heard someone say earlier is that people can see homes everywhere. They can see homes on Zillow. They can go on all the different websites and look at homes. But what are they not seeing? They're not seeing the area, what the terrain looks like, how tall the buildings are. You know, is it a pretty view or not? So showing that stuff can definitely set you apart. And again, it doesn't have to be about you. It's not about you being shy or out there or even experienced. You're just giving people that value and that information that they're looking for, and they can visually see it before they even hop on a plane to come wherever you are.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a great point, not only for new agents, which was my question, but for any agent out there, right? Don't make it about you, make it about the community, make it about providing value, which comes back to this kind of theme of the podcast today, which is providing active value no matter what, right? I think at the end of the day, it's not about, if your mindset is it's not about how many deals is this investment of time and money going to get me, it's how much value can I provide so that people know that I'm there for them? At the end of the day, that's what really matters, right? Sure. Excellent, Chastin. I love that. So we've talked about so many amazing things today. We've talked about following up with your clients with gifts and holding great events, and we've talked about video. Is there any final thoughts that you want to leave with our audience today to help them either prepare for 2022 or to succeed and really drive through 2022 and have a successful year?
Sure. For one, don't take off for these next 2 months.
Yes.
You know, actively work. There's still real months of the year. But second is try to make your business as predictive as possible. You know, of course, things come up in real estate, but there's a certain level of things that you can do to make it as predictive as possible. For one, find out what your income goal is and reverse engineer those numbers to tell you exactly how many deals you need to do. Because every time I do this exercise with any agent, they're surprised when, based on their average sales price, they only need to sell 10, 12 homes a year. You know, then I reverse engineer those even more. Okay, how many calls does that translate to? How many appointments? How many people say yes? How many people, you know, you have that grace to say no? And then it doesn't seem as intimidating. You know, post that up, have it on your wall, look at it, and hit those metrics. So you got to know what you need to do even before you get into the year. Then that's when you start making that plan with the gifting and the events and all of that kind of stuff. You can use my case studies. Hey, Chastin said that one of his agents pulled 120 names. I'll tell you, I didn't pull that many on my first event, but it was still like 38. You know, it was still a lot. So based on that and my closing ratios, I can probably pull out maybe 3 to 4 deals from this. Okay, there goes 3 to 4 deals out of your 10 from just that one bucket. All right, I'm going to host 2 first-time homebuyer seminars. You know, people, let's say that I get a room full of 30 people. All right, I can probably maybe pull 2 deals out of there. Okay, there goes 2 more deals. And do that for each activity to where you're basically setting yourself up a minimum. Like, okay, from this event, I need to, at a minimum, get 2 deals from it. Okay, so now you're working the room, you're talking to people, you're following up because you have 2 deals attached to this, right? And do that for every single piece of your business. And then you can sort of make it more predictable and let everything else just be supplements and fluff. You know, if you want to run Facebook ads or you want to do this and that, like, yeah, you can do all that, but at least you know you have to hit these certain metrics, and the way that you're going to hit these certain metrics is by these buckets and these plans that you put in place right now to move forward into 2022.
Amazing. I love it. Plan now so you're prepared for the future. I think every agent needs to hear that. I think every agent knows that to a certain extent, but hearing these tactical ways that you've given us today, Chastin, of how they can make it happen and how many deals they can pull from each of these activities is amazing. So thank you so much. Thanks to our audience for joining us today. give a shout out to Chastin. Check out his content. I'm going to throw it up here on the screen. ChastinJMiles.com. Check out his YouTube. Check out his books, right? You're an author, you're a speaker, you do so much content, so much amazing stuff. So thank you, Chastin, for being here today. To our audience, if you want to catch a replay of this to really take some fine-tuned notes on what we've talked about today, there's a lot. So please go revisit this. We're on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on YouTube, anywhere you like to listen and find your content. We are there. So is Chastin. So thank you again very much, my good sir, and we will see you all next week.